Kamala Harris could be the next Democratic nominee for president. So I decided to check out her new book and learn a little bit more about her. Hi, thanks for watching. So today is Tuesday, and every blue moon or lunar eclipse or something, I will review a book on Reviews Day Tuesday. And today I decided to take a look at Kamala Harris's new book that just came out last week, The Truths We Hold, An American Journey. But first, her name is pronounced Kamala, like a comma followed by la, like la-di-da. So it's Kamala Harris. I will probably get that wrong, but I really try to pronounce names correctly. But that's a little something that you can remember if you want to say it right. But I picked up Kamala's new book. It came out a week ago today and read through it. It's a easy read, nice big margins and big font. Not too many long words, nothing to make you feel dumb. And I appreciate that. Some nice positive stories from her childhood and her adult life that put out the story that she wants to put out as a presidential candidate. Now, this is something that often happens. If you are going to run for president and the media is very favorable to you, you put out a book and kind of tell them this is the story that you should promote. And so that's what Kamala did here. She put out a story of her youth and her career, and this is the story that will be promoted now in the mainstream media. From what I can tell, the media is really behind her. I haven't seen any hit pieces on her yet. It's all been a very favorable reaction to her announcing her candidacy on MLK Day. Well, what kind of stories can you expect from this book? Well, here's a story from her early years as a prosecutor. The cases were easy to prove as they were tragic to charge. In the rush to clean up the streets, we were criminalizing a public health crisis, and without a focus on treatment and prevention, the crack epidemic spread like a deadly virus, burning through city after city until it had stolen a generation of people. As I sat alone in my new office, I recalled a time as a young prosecutor when I overheard some of my colleagues in the hallway. Should we add gang enhancement? One of them asked. Can we show he was in a gang? The other said. Come on now, you saw what he was wearing. You saw what corner they picked him up on. Guy's got a tape of that rapper, what's his name? I stepped out into the hallway. Hey guys, just so you know, I have family that live in that neighborhood. I've got friends who dress in that style, and I've got a tape of that rapper in my car right now. Oh, she dunked on them. And these are the kind of fun, lighthearted stories where Kamala wins and wins and wins. There's not a single story where she did something wrong or made a mistake. All of the stories in the book that I could find are positive, that show her in a great light. And I guess that's the kind of book you want to put out if you're going to run for president. I did find it odd that when she was talking about her early career, there wasn't a single mention of Willie Brown. Now, Kamala dated Willie Brown in the 90s, and he is, if you don't know, one of the most powerful politicians in the state of California ever. I mean, everybody knows about Willie Brown. And she dated him for quite a while. In fact, here's a story from the LA Times, November 29th, 1994. 2 more Brown associates get well-paid posts. Government. The Speaker appoints his frequent companion and longtime friend to state boards as his hold on his own powerful position wanes. Assembly Speaker Willie Brown continued his rush to hand out patronage jobs while he retains his powerful post. Has given high-paying appointments to his former law associate and a former Alameda County prosecutor who is Brown's frequent companion. Brown exercising his power, even as his speakership seems near an end, named attorney Kamala Harris to the California Medical Assistance Commission, a job that pays $72,000 a year. Harris, a former deputy district attorney in Alameda County, was described by several people at the Capitol as Brown's girlfriend. In March, San Francisco Chronicle columnist Herb Caen called her The speakers knew steady. Harris declined to be interviewed Monday, and Brown's spokeswoman did not return phone calls. Harris accepted the appointment last week after serving 6 months as Brown's appointee to the Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board, which pays $97,000 a year. You know, I think that that is a really interesting story. It's something that I would have liked to have heard more about. You know, if someone chooses to date someone 30 years older than them and then is given high-paying positions coincidentally, I think that's really interesting. But that was not even mentioned, not once, in this entire book. Some people on the right have an issue with Harris dating Willie Brown because he was married at the time, but I don't. At the time, Willie Brown was separated. I think if anyone wants to date when they're separated, they don't have to wait until the divorce is finalized. To me, that's not a big deal, and that's not a big issue. But I think a really interesting story is if you date someone more than twice your age, who's one of the most powerful politicians in the state, that's an interesting story. That is something that I would want to hear more about. But for whatever reason, she has chosen not to mention this at all in this book. And I think that's too bad, because I really think that we should be able to date whoever we want to date. Here's another little anecdote from later in the book. My team freaked out. You can't call him. He's represented by an attorney. I don't care. Get him on the phone. I was tired of feeling caged, of talking through lawyers and other intermediaries in endless obfuscation. I wanted to go right to the source, and I believed the situation demanded it. About 10 seconds later, my assistant popped her head into my office. Mr. Diamond is on the phone. I took off my earrings, the Oakland in me, and picked up the receiver. It is funny. Kamala does mention Oakland all the time through this book, about being from Oakland, being from Oakland, being from Oakland. But that's odd, because she spent all of middle school and high school in Montreal, Canada. And there's no stories at all from Canada. There's no talk of prom, there's no talk of student government, there's no talk of anything that happened for all those years of her life. It all happened before she went to Canada in Oakland, and then when she went to Howard University after high school. Even the pictures that she's chosen to put in this book, they are all from Oakland or college and afterwards. There's not even a single picture from middle school and high school from her time in Canada. I find that really weird, why you would delete this big section of your life. But that's okay, because this book really isn't written for me. This book is for, people that watch Ellen and The Bachelor, that aren't really that deep into politics. These are nice stories that she puts out a real positive spin on her life. As a candidate, I'm not that interested in Kamala Harris. She was a senior policy advisor for the Hillary Clinton campaign in the last campaign, and she doesn't really hold the values that I care about, but she does share a lot of the same characteristics as Hillary Clinton. Very pro-war, pro-status quo, pro-big bank, pro-corporation, pro-lobbyist. And she is backed by the mainstream media. I believe, from what I've seen so far, that Kamala Harris will be chosen by the media as the frontrunner for the Democrats. You can learn more about her, although not that much, from checking out this book, The Truths We Hold, An American Journey. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description. I can't recommend this book as a must-read, but if it turns out that she is the nominee, you should learn more about her. If there's another Democratic candidate that you would like me to read their book, let me know in the description. I have some interesting stories coming later in the week, so be sure to check those out. Peace. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. You can help me reach my goal of 1 million, make that 4,000 subscribers by hitting the like button and subscribing. Thanks.